So welcome to the Ethereum Cat Herders meeting 37. And I have shared the agenda. Let me share the agenda in the chat. So let's begin with Kirti. Kirti, would you mind introducing yourself?
So, hi everyone, I'm Kriti. I'm from India, and I've recently joined Ethereum Marketing DAO, and yesterday only got introduced to Cat Herders by Pooja. And it's been like some time that I've started my journey of blockchain. It's been like 2-3 months that I've started knowing Ethereum and experimenting with it and understanding it in a little depth. So that's all about me. And I work for a marketing agency currently, and we are one of the leading marketing agencies in the world. And we're actually looking at how best on the technology side we can provide solutions to the clients which are more new age versions.
Thank you, Kirti. So Kirti would be, Kirti has joined the Ethereum Cat Herders. She has submitted the online form, and we may be looking her helping out with some kind of notes and the community building program that we would be conducting in this, connecting with the help of this group. So let's begin. The first item on the agenda is email account for cat herders.
Yeah, I got a hold of Charles in St. Louis, and I forwarded or sent him the set of instructions on the Zoho site about how to configure GoDaddy domain with the Zoho email, and he acknowledged receiving those instructions and said he would get to that and configure that and get back to me, and I haven't heard back from him again. So once he gets that done, then we'll be able to send email to member@ethereumcatherders.com, and then we can get anyone who wants for example, I think I'll get one created for brent.alsop@ethereumcatherders.com, and anyone else who wants one of those will be able to set one of those up for them. And
wait, there isn't a limited number of emails on it?
Yeah, I think you're right. There might be a limited email. So
I think the limit's 1 too, but I could be wrong.
Oh, is the limit 1?
I think so.
I'll look. We've
Is
got
that the case, Pooja?
I think for Zoho we have 5.
Okay, my mistake then.
Oh, no worries.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of my recollection. It was at least 5, and no one has asked for any yet. And so when no one asked for any, I thought I might as well create one for myself. But if any others want one, then I would delete mine, and for people that could use one or whatever. But yeah, if we got 5, we might as well use them. So
I was wondering, like, instead of going by personal name, I have some suggestions which I would come in the later part of this meeting. Like, we would go by the task, and like in our group itself, we should, have somebody leading particular task, and with that, email address. How does that sound?
Yeah, I like that idea. And then then we can have multiple people on a task, and if someone else drops out and a new person takes that task, it's still the same email. So yeah, that sounds brilliant to me. So okay, yes. So as Pooja recommended at first, we created member. So member@ethereumcatherders.com. That will be the first one we have. But yeah, if we want to come up a list with other tasks, yeah, we could do that too. So I like that.
Contact should probably be the main level.
Oh, that's a good one. Okay, I'll add.
It's a common tactic just for using anybody can contact us on this email. I don't know. A lot of times companies have a security, which is where people can disclose bugs. If we're going to become an address for people to disclose vulnerabilities or anything like that, it might be worthwhile for us to create a security at Ethereum Cat Herders. But I don't think we're doing that this second.
Sometimes there's admin@ethereumcatherders.com also, but yeah.
We don't really have an admin though.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, okay. I think we should come up with a list of 4 to 5 the primary name that we should be using for the email. That is something that we can work on, and we have pretty good suggestions here, right?
Yeah.
Sorry. What did you envision the member email address serving?
So that was basically for like for this. We recently started this onboarding form thing, right? So when we are reverting back to those guys that okay, fine, you have filled up this onboarding form, and now you are welcome to the member of Ethereum Cat Herders. You can consider yourself as member. So that was my initial thought behind that. But contact and admin, these also sounds good to me. I have no hard reservations there.
Cool.
So maybe Brent, if you can just list out 4 to 5 possible emails and just share with the group, and we can discuss it. And
Okay, I'll do that.
sound
And also I'll recontact Charles and keep on his case until he gets that done, and hopefully by next week we can close this item out,
sure.
or next meeting rather.
Let me know if you need any help over there. Then I can also talk to Charles.
Okay, yeah, that's good to know. Thanks.
Moving on, the next agenda item is EIPIP meeting. So we had this meeting last week, and there are 3 tasks / action items. Those were related to Ethereum Cat Herders. So the number 1 was emergency communication group. So there was some discussion around like we should have emergency communication group in Ethereum that would be active and would be taking up things when something hits the fan. So people were suggesting that we should be coming up with this group, and what tasks that they can perform. Maybe we can come up with checklist. As far as I know, there is a group itself in the Cat Herders. We have tried to reach out to the Ethereum stakeholders for past 2-3 upgrades. But this may be the time that when we would like to, make it more concrete, and we invite more members to this group. Would like to hear thoughts from other people.
I'd definitely be interested in joining a group like that. What do we need to do as of right now? We need to come up with who needs to be contacted and like what a protocol contacting people would be. Like, what do we have to do with this at this point?
So at this point of time, what I have with me is a sheet that contains the contact address for people at exchanges, people at miners, and people like that. So what we generally do is like we reach out to these people at the time of upgrade and ask them to upgrade their node, whatever client they are using, upgrade their node to be in sync with the latest version that is going under the upgrade. And this is monitored via Ethernode, and then we know at the time of upgrade how we are doing. I mean, like how many nodes that are going right, because we would want to avoid any kind of fork. So it's better that people be on the same page. This is our job at this point of time, but we would like to kind of come up with checklist to make it more, effective.
Also, those aren't emergency comms, are there? Like, what I understood from you is that we're talking about emergency comms, like, Ethereum's getting DDoSed, certain clients might have vulnerabilities, exchanges could be hacked because of a bug in Solidity. Like, I mean, the sort of emergency 4 in-the-morning stuff.
Yep.
Do you mean that, or do you mean, okay, so do we need to come up
included.
with a protocol for that?
Yeah, for reference, I believe we had, I and Charles worked together sometimes back, and created this sheet. I'm going to share with you guys on the chat. So that also talks about the emergency communication at the time of attack. Like we saw something like this at the time of Constantinople, when we have to immediately stop the upgrade, and we waited and we did it again with St. Petersburg upgrade. So in those kind of situations as well, we need to reach out to the people immediately, so that we do not, we would be in a position to control it, do not create any kind of panic. So yeah, that includes the same thing as you are talking about.
So you're saying that we've used the same protocol as the network upgrade, even though, all right. Yeah, you're saying that basically you think that we could just retool the network upgrade protocol for.
Right. So the guideline was created when we were at the time of Constantinople, like we witnessed that emergency situation, And from there, we took the guideline to impose in the upgrades. And now we want to be prepared for both upgrades as well as any emergency situation like DDoS attack.
Okay, I'm looking over the template right now. I think I might have written some of this. Is that possible?
I think you were also in the group when we were discussing this sometimes back. Maybe it's over a year, so might have slipped your mind. Okay, anybody else has any question, comments on this topic?
Still me. So do we need to assemble like an actual team of people? Like something that I would think something like this could use is just a list of people who should be contacted in order to contact others. That
Right.
definitely does seem to be one thing that's there. So if it's something that we're taking responsibility for, I guess we should just publicize between the group that we're looking for volunteers to be on the list, to be like, potentially contacted in an event like this. No?
Right. So we have received some volunteers. Jay from the QuantStam team, she has joined the Ethereum Cat Herders group, and she volunteered to help out with this team. And she has some experience on the security and emergency comm thing, so she decided that. So I'm planning to bring all these people together in a group, and maybe from there we can continue this discussion and how to take it forward.
Okay, so maybe we could create an action item for this that you and I and whatever members you deem appropriate should like have an initial conversation about maybe writing a clear template for this and coming up with a definitive list of people. Does that sound okay?
Perfect. Sounds good to
Great.
me.
So I'll be in touch with you about it then.
Thank you. Okay. Anyone else has any question on that or any comment, suggestion? Okay. The next sub item was EIP project board. So the suggestion was brought up by Edson, and he suggested that we should be creating this EIP project board to keep track of what we are doing as a group in EIP group. Like we are trying to improve the process, and it's better to keep a track of what all action items are there and what is the current status of that. I'm not sure about the access of this Ethereum Cat Herder repo, because I also have very like partial accesses to so many things. For Twitter, I have partial access. For this, I have partial access. So I have to look for that. But while we are looking into it, I try to give it a try and created the dashboard. So I'm going to share the link in the chat. So it's basically a tracker and that lists the tasks that we have decided to take over as a group, and it also suggests what is the status of it. Like for example, there are some tasks that is already closed. We worked with the ethereum.org team and we created that EIP page. Anat contributed a lot in writing the introduction page of that. Thank you, Anat. And so many other things. So I would welcome suggestion, feedback to improvise it. And how do you guys think about it? I mean, is it something okay? Because this is the simplest format of a tracker that is available with the GitHub, but open to other suggestions.
Yeah, I think it's great personally.
Yeah, it looks good.
Okay, let's keep it this way for now, and I may have to revisit the previous action items and what are the statuses of those, and if I find something is missing, I'm going to go ahead and add that. But for that, I have also created a Word document. If somebody comes across something that is missing in this board, feel free to add it over here, and then we would be adding it, improving it as we go.
I think you need access to comment on that. Again, request access.
Let me see. Does it not have? Let me change the to.
Also, Pooja, I wanted to ask the tracker, what will be the frequency to update it? Is it like something we do it today and then we update it? Or is it like a weekly revisit to everything that we've done and the next step.
So this is in regards to EIP board, Kitty?
Yes.
Okay, this EIP meeting happens every 2 weeks on Wednesday, not this one. So it will happen on the other Wednesday. So we do this meeting, and from that meeting, whatever is the takeout, planning to update it since it is the first time. So we have like about a week to make it up to date. And from there onwards, I think it's going to be once a week job, once or 2 week job.
All right.
Okay. So moving on, the next sub item was post-mortem template. This is a long due item on my part. Let me share the link here. So sometimes back, we decided that Cat Herder should come up with a post-mortem template that can be used for future to create a report about analysis report about any of the upgrade that happens in the ecosystem. Earlier, we tried to keep it in the form of project board, as I shared with you guys that Constantine Pool post-mortem report was there. But for future upgrades, this is the template that I have created. And based on this template, we have created the Muir Glacier upgrade report. I'm going to share the link here. This is still not on the EIP repo. We have not created the pull request, but after the all core dev meeting, because we would want the devs to give it a look and collect their feedback. And after the all core dev meetings, we will create the pull request for that. 2 things here pending, and I think that we would, it's better to be discussed here. Like there's a thing called discussion 2 format. Discussion 2, we have not created any Magician post. What do people think about it? Should we create it, or can we just, we have some people from EIP team as well. That's why.
You're asking if we should. Yeah, go ahead.
I think we can create it. Sometimes people don't even comment on the discussions 2 section. Sometimes people do. It wouldn't hurt to just create an ETH Magicians post.
Right. I think, yeah, I agree to it. I think I can create for the template one, and then we can add the Muir Glacier as well there. I mean, we can refer the link there because for separately for template, it's never been. It's the first time. So I was just.
I don't think we should have it for the template. I think for the Muir Glacier, we should have one.
Okay. Okay. So I will make a note of that, and I will try to create it. So yeah, feel free to let me know about the template fund and the Muir Glacier. If anything is missing, we will go ahead and add that. Anyone has any question, comments, more on this topic before we move on? Okay, so the next item is a proposal. So I'm proposing that should we move to Discord channel, the Cat Herders, because at this point of time, I see that every project, every group is on Discord, and Discord is way easier to communicate and keep track of what is going on in separate channels, because they have channels. So it's easier for people to go to the one they won't want to. At this point of time, we have just community Gitter, and what happens in Gitter is like people ask question and it is, overwritten by so many other comments. So it's difficult for somebody to go back and actually see the question and answer it. I would like to invite thoughts on it. Yeah.
I totally agree.
So what do other people think about it? Okay, so
We should probably also get opinions from people who aren't present.
I'm in favor also.
I tried to give it a try, and here's the invite link. Of course, it is not public at this point of time, and we'll try to get feedback of other people in the group, because many of them are not present in the meeting today. So before we go ahead and make it public, we should reach out to them. But in the meanwhile, people who are present, this is the Discord link that I tried to create with some of the channels that I was talking about. I know, did I send the right one?
Do you want some of the channels private?
Yes, yes,
So what you could do is give people roles
yes.
like member, and then have channels be only public to those roles.
Right, because we have specific groups within the cat herders. So of course, we would go ahead and do the roles part. So at this point of time, I just created the channel to have a, basic format of it. So creating role is there. I am gonna do that later.
Looks nice.
Yeah, I found it convenient. Like when I'm on Discord, I can reach out to Ethereum 2, Ethereum 1, and many other groups, right? So I don't have to switch from one communication channel to another one. So. Feel free to let me know about this, like what all we can add or what all we can remove. And of course, I would like to get help from people to, run it properly. We'll add some roles, admin and others roles. So we'll do that. Maybe we would bring it in the next meeting and see what people think about it.
This is sort of a side point, but opening Discord might be a good time also to try and bring in some of the people who don't usually make the meeting. My impression is that there's like sort of a group of cat herders who don't necessarily make the meetings, but actually are active in some way, shape, or form. I mean, we do already have the Gitter, but especially if they're already on Discord and other places, it might become like a good venue for them to like still be interacting with us.
Right, I totally agree to that. There are many people who are passive contributors, but we are not able to bring them to this platform quite often. Like when we start doing this, maybe if they are missing the meeting also, they can go back and look into things, whatever they want to interact with. Okay. Moving on, the next item is ECH as a DAO. So this was a proposal last week, and we are thinking about it running on the platform of Aragon DAO, which was there in the beginning of this group when we started this group. So I tried to look into that, and I see that there are options that tokens can be reassigned. What happened, like when we started this group, there was certain people who have been assigned as a herd token, like a herders token, herd token was there. But I think this Aragon DAO gives us a facility to reassign those tokens, and we would want to involve new members, assign those tokens to them, and would start using the platform for voting purposes and decision-making purposes. I'm not sure, like Hudson wanted to take a lead on that, so he is not here, so I do not have much to update on it. But yes, if people have thoughts, feel free to share. Okay, then I'll bring this item in the next meeting as well. I hope he is back. And yeah, moving on, the next item is cat herders funding on Moloch, DAO, and ESP. So the good news is we have received funding from Moloch DAO, although this is not for the full year, it's partial funding. And we have to report back to Moloch people in next 3 months with a list of contributions to Ethereum ecosystem, like what we have been doing with the help of this group, and what are our achievements. And with that, we would be able to secure funding for rest of the year. I mean, like for 2021 maybe, yeah. So we'll have to wait till Hudson is back, because I mean, like he was the proposer of it, so he has to receive the fund, and everything else will be done. But in continuation to this particular topic, I was doing some analysis on the funding part that we have received, and it's not concrete, but there was a thought in my mind like, can we start something as public bounty to involve more people to contribute with their technical blogs and all. I know William is writing some technical blogs on Ethereum too. I know Edson writes some good stuff on EIP. So if we can involve more community people and start some kind of bounty program, what are general thought here?
It's an interesting idea. I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah, I mean, even I'm not very clear about it, but yeah, please go ahead. Sorry, Kirti, we can't hear you if you're talking.
No, so I think what I feel is it'll be more like a reward system, right? Or it'll more be like a collection of tokens or a wallet system. Because two of the things would, really help people to be more motivated towards what they're doing or writing more of the content.
Maybe a little closer to that. It is like when somebody comes up with some very good article or document on whatever is going in the current Ethereum ecosystem, we would like to publish it under the head of Ethereum Cat Herders Medium blog. So if we may want to, decide internally what are the events or the discussion point that we would want to invite application for. And based on that, we would want to give some reward. Yes, of course, in the term of maybe DAI. Yeah, DAI is mostly used here. It's ETH or DAI maybe.
All right.
I mean, I'm just thinking out loud. Yeah, go ahead, Kriti.
I'm saying then it'll be a good motivator for people to actually participate more and write content.
Right.
And just thinking out loud, but I would think that would probably need like a dedicated job of someone who's constantly figuring out what needs to be curated and is looking over the articles. Like I don't even necessarily mean a paid job. It could be still a volunteer type thing, but that would be like a lot of dedicated work, constantly figuring out what articles are actually sort of like the current pulse of Ethereum, figuring out how to bounty, what to bounty, making sure that the articles are up to par, and handling that level of publication. It's a decent amount of work, actually, now that I think about it. I'm not saying that to discourage, but I think in framing what it would look like, I think that's probably what it would look like.
Thanks to you guys. You guys selected a part-time coordinator-in-chief. And yeah, thank you, Edson, too, for helping in curation and editing, reviewing. I see in your comment. So yeah, I mean, like we have to consider these things to encourage people to actively participate. And we are also working, I mean, like I'm also in touch with Anat and trying to build community and with the help of other meetup groups and other things. So it's just a way to bring people forward, start contributing more, and make the word of Ethereum go everywhere. So yeah, in the beginning, it will take a lot of time to figure out what we would want to, and maybe we could discuss it in one of these meetings every other, or maybe we can have it as an agenda point and discuss it to figure out how it is. It's not a complete thought yet. It's just an initial idea. Since we have secured a partial funding, I want to, budget a part of that partial funding for these kind of activities to involve more people here.
Cool.
We will continue discussion on this part in the next meeting as well, to hear more thoughts on people who are actually not present here today. So moving on, the next item on the agenda is the ETH2 nodes funding for old and new nodes. So I see that there are 5 outstanding nodes for Ethereum 2, and I have written to Scott and Danny, and they have reverted back, like they would try to finish up with the old bounties by this week maybe. And from July onwards, since we have received the funding from Moloch, although it's not actually in our wallet, but yes, they have signaled that our request has been approved. So from July 1st onward, we can also request the funding for Act 2 meeting from ECH funding repo. I mean, the process that we are following for rest of the meetings, we will be following it for Ethereum 2.0 meeting notes as well.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, it's really good that we are trying to, you know, create a system for everything. We are trying to streamline the process here. Any more question on this? So my understanding is like, as I mentioned, that I see 5 outstanding. So I think there was 2 from Edson, 1 from William, 1 Brent, 1 me. If I'm missing on anyone, please let me know. I will reach out to Scott for that.
Yep.
The next item on the agenda is 1559 fee market changes. There's a lot going on with the 1559 fee market changes. We started the fundraising on Gitcoin, and it is recorded the highest fund raised in the CLR, around 6, like with the highest number of participation, about 400 contributors. So it was amazing how people are willing to contribute to get this thing implemented on Ethereum mainnet as early as possible. But there are a lot to go. Audits are there, like, you know, simulations are there, and a lot to go, but it's good to hear that people are really responding well towards it. I don't see Tim here, so I would wait for him to provide further update on it. Moving on, the onboarding new members. So we have a few new members added to the Cat Herder community since the last meeting. And like, I'm gonna share the link here in which we are recording all those people. So a few may not be able to join today, but they have requested for the meeting video post this. I'm going to share the link on the channel. Some of them have, again, it needs access, I'm sorry. Some of them would be helping out with the note taking, some with the governance process, and some have requested the participation in security consideration. Let me see, how can I grant access to it? Okay, it's still loading. I'm gonna change the access. I'm right there. Give me a minute. So we have 5 new members since last week, and I'm trying to add them to the community as well as in the appropriate channel. But since I mentioned that we would be also looking into the options of Discord, I hope that it would be a better place for everybody to, you know, land on their channel of interest. So let me change it as content. Can someone please try again and see if it is working fine?
Yeah, it's working for me.
Thank you. So as suggested by Brent sometimes back, that we should be, you know, keeping track of people who are getting into our community. And I'm also working on creating that list with all the active members, including these people, so that we know whom to reach, when to reach, at what time, like what are their speciality and what they would be interested in contributing for. So we'll be creating that list, although that list is not going to be very public, but that would be helpful for internal references, I believe. I would also like to request people to share the onboarding form as much as possible people who are interested in contributing to Ethereum space in any possible way, please invite them to be a member and bring them to our channels. Okay, that was it. Okay. So the next item is discuss and close the ECH GitHub issues and PRs. Let's see. On that, I think I have one action item, the issue number 104, update Folkman and publish code properly. I have reached out to Martin for that. I mean, I have sent a message. I'm waiting on his response. And I do not see any new issues there. So we can probably move on. On funding, okay, I tried to clear up all the fundings. And thank you, Edson and William, to closing the issue. Brent, I would request you to give it a look. I think these meeting notes have been paid out. So if you have received the fund, you may go ahead and close these issues.
Okay, yeah. While I was on vacation, I saw a lot of activity come through, and so I need to go through and review that, but I'll do that.
Sure, no problem. Take your time. That's fine. Moving on, the next item is a review of outstanding action items from previous ECH meeting. The first item listed here is not from the previous meeting. It was just discussed in one of the Telegram channel. Remove the ProgPow Gitcoin grant. So I talked to Kevin, and he has removed it from the public listing, and that grant is closed now. We received, I guess, 10 DAI on them for this round. So maybe, I'm not sure what's going to happen with that. Maybe that would be transferred to our new wallet, because the wallet mentioned here was the old one, not the new Gnosis one that we are using currently. So I may have to look into that, how we are going to deal with that fund. But yeah, it was just about 10 DAI, not more than that. And this item is closed now. And from meeting notes number 36, the first decision item was close the issue on documenting the cat herders process. I think Hudson tried to close it, but for some reason it has some conflict or something that needs to be resolved, and it is still open. I am not that GitHub savvy. Maybe if somebody knows how to help with that, please come forward. Or maybe we would wait for this person to close on his own. That might be helpful. I'm not sure. I'll check with that. The next decision was leave open the issue on staking in DXDAO. It is still open.
Question about the previous one. Is that the PR that's still open from March of last year?
Right. Luke, I guess. Luke, Sean.
It doesn't look like there are any conflicts. It might just be that they're waiting for it to be merged.
I'm not sure that we agreed upon merging this document yet. Did we? If I'm missing, I'm not sure of that. Changes requested. No, I can see that he has requested some changes. Okay. I'll give it a look one more time. Because as far as I remember, the last time when we discussed, he was trying to create this document, and that was not completed because it was a generic document which was for reference and not customized as per the need of cat herders. So I will go back and look at the document again if it is at all customized, and we would like to merge that.
Yeah, so I'm looking
Go ahead, Son.
through it now, and it looks like it was reviewed, but there was never changes made based on the review.
Right.
So it could just be that we need to close it. I mean, that would also be an option. We could just reject the PR, and then we should be able to close the issue, at least as far as I understand.
Yeah, close it with asking them to create a new PR if they're so interested in that.
Okay.
Should I go ahead and do that now?
Yeah, I think I'm just leaving a comment. I remember Ed Hudson mentioned that he would be doing that. I may have to look into it again. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and close this saying that if you want, you can reopen the issue. I mean, if the changes are implemented, I would want, please go ahead and reopen the issue, right? I mean, the pull request. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we decided in meeting 36, feel free to reopen. Reopen when changes are included, right? Okay, that's fine. Feel free to reopen. Close and comment. Let me see if it works. Oh yeah, it's done, looks like. Closed. Okay, sounds good. So we are done with one. The next item here is leave open the issue on staking in DXDAO. Yes, we are keeping it open for a while. We need to see like if the funds are back, and then we'll close the issue. 36.3 is leave open the issue of add an option to Ether nodes that accounts for in process. Yeah, it's WIP. Next is wait until Berlin for closure to ask Peter from Ethernodes about in process. Yes, we are waiting on it. Like I know Peter is engaged with Ethereum 2 stuff right now, so we'll wait. And moreover, Berlin is like, I'm not sure that I don't see it on the agenda of this upcoming Ethereum all core dev meeting. So yeah, we have a while. Close the issue about renewing Zoom Pro account. I hope it is closed. Yep. Note takers who want to be paid in ETH can do so if the request it post a screenshot of ETH price. I think William has started doing it. If anybody else is interested and getting them a fund to be paid in ETH, and we have enough ETH in the wallet, you can request that. Pooja to take responsibility for keeping the finance spreadsheet up to date. It is updated. And next action items are 36.1. Pooja will get Charles Lewis contact to Brent also to set up the cat headers Zoho email. I think that is work in progress, and Brent is already in touch with Charles. Hudson to take the lead on getting back on the ECH Telegram and get a channel about ECH as a DAO. I will wait for him to provide more updates. Hudson to check on an update from ESP. Yeah. Skipping that, Hudson to sponsor Mullah proposal in the next round. I think that was related to 1559 fee market changes. I'm not sure if it would be required anymore, but if it is, we'll certainly ask Hudson to do that. But I think we get a good funding from the Gitcoin grant. Put onboarding form on the ECH Getter and ECH website. It is available at both the places right now. Tim to create fee market folder to Ethereum PM. It is done. Hudson to reach out to Lane. Am I going to just read out? I don't know. DXDAO, it's still open. Tim to follow up on updating necessary documentation for Besu hotfix. We'll wait for Tim to update on it. Pooja to reach out Martin. I did, and waiting on his response. Hudson to update converting site to DAI. We'll have to wait for him. I'm sorry. I mean, it looks like I'm just blabbering around. A few more.
Sai was already done.
Yeah, I think just 2 or 3 left, so I'll just quickly wrap it up. Update the funding
Go for it. You're doing great. This is what has to happen. You know what I mean? Someone's got to read them off.
So yeah, the next one is update the funding repo to reflect the ability of note taker to be paid in ETH. Yes, it is done. I think anyone can look into the wallet and look whatever amount of ETH is available with them. Hudson will pay out some of the older ECH requests. I think all of the older requests has been paid out except for the header-in-chief thing, because some decisions are also required there. Hudson to make an issue to decide what to do with data ERC20 coin. I cannot say for sure, but I think I see this ERC20 data coin on the new wallet. So maybe it is done, but I would wait.
Yeah, the data coin's on the new wallet. I thought we were going to convert it to another currency, but it looks like we just transferred it directly.
Yeah, I see it directly transferred. So maybe we can convert, like when Hudson is back, we can talk to him and try to convert some of the tokens. I see some PAN token, some data coin, and there are some other currency which we would want to standardize maybe in DAI or maybe in ETH would be helpful, right?
Yes.
So we would bring this maybe in the next meeting. Okay, there are a few more. So I think Hudson will start paying out. It is done. Pooja to come up with the draft for postmortem report for Berlin upgrade. I already shared it today. Create a target audience specific survey. No, it's not completed yet. I'm working on it. I will come up with some more surveys to get more feedbacks and more direction for the Ethereum cat herders community. Hudson and Pooja will contact Scott for bounties of H2 note makings. It looks like it's getting sorted. We'll update more in the next meeting about it. Add Pooja to Multisig. I have been added. ECH website update. I try to keep it up to date with the documents for and relevant documents for 1559 and the Berlin upgrade. But if people find something is missing, feel free to ping in the channel and I'll try to update that on the website. And if anybody else are interested to help out with keeping this website up to date, I think when we create this Discord channel, it would be easier to work together and keep it up to date. So yeah, that's all about review of outstanding action items. And I think that's the end of the agenda. Any other business? Do we have anything else to discuss about? Okay, cool. Sounds like we are making good progress and we are almost at the time. So thank you everyone for joining today and see you all in 2 weeks. Feel free to ping us anywhere, everywhere. And if people are watching it on the YouTube and they are interested to join, please reach out to us at Ethereum Cat Herders Community GitHub and we'll try to get in touch with you. Thank you everyone for joining.
Thanks for running the
Good
meeting.
job, Pooja.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks. Bye.
All right. See y'all.
Bye.